My brothers say I look like Harley Quinn with this hairstyle. Like, are pigtails just off limits now because Harley Quinn did it once? Hi everyone! Welcome back to the final installment of the birthday series. In 2018, that is. I am 24 today. Wow. That's old. Like, I remember being 13 or 14 and just thinking like your life is basically over when you're 25. So like, I'm an old lady to my former self. It's been a wonderful year, like so full of amazing experiences and awesome things. And you guys have been such a big part of my life and my career, and I can't thank y'all enough for being here today and all the other days I upload videos and talking to me on Instagram. It's an amazing thing, and truly I'm so grateful to y'all. We've got to celebrate with a birthday cake soap. Y'all know I can't just let this whole month go without a confetti cake soap. I don't think I've actually done confetti cake. I've done birthday cake in the past, but we're adding confetti. We all love confetti. We're adding some sprinkles. It's gonna be great. So without further ado, let's get started. We will begin by mixing our lye water solution into our oils. Sometimes lye water gets this little white film on top. It is not a big deal. It is not going to hurt you. That's just what happens sometimes when the water reacts with the air. Likewise, sometimes little bits of the oils kind of float up to the top and start getting solid again. And that's okay too. I'm just gonna blend up the oils first with my stick blender to get those all broken down and all gone. So now we're just going to pour this into our lye water solution. Some people have asked me why I don't blend up those little chunks or whatever, but honestly, they break up and you'll never see them again in your soap. And now I'm going to stick blend on high until everything is emulsified. I'm now going to split my batter into 3 equal parts. Like a cake, we're gonna have a frosting color in the middle and then 2 cake colors on the outside. Got a scrapey out my big bucket. Now for colors, I'm gonna kind of mix these up one at a time because it's a layered soap, but I am going to go ahead and measure the color into it. I'm just not gonna mix it up. So I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of titanium dioxide mixed with water into each one. I'll come back, I might add a little more actually. Then I'm just gonna add a few drops into the center one as well. The center color is going to be pink, and I'm using Cosmic Carolyn for that today. So for right now, I'm gonna move these 2 off to the side, and we're gonna work with just blending up this one. Gonna mix up that titanium dioxide. Now I'm going to be adding my fragrance oil. So my fragrance oil has been mixed with vanilla color stabilizer, and that's going to keep my soap from turning brown. Got my soap on a scale here, so I'm going to measure the exact amount in here as I'll be putting in all the other soaps. That way if there is a little bit of discoloration, well, it'll all discolor evenly. I'm going to mix this in by hand for right now. Gonna give it a really quick mix with my stick blender. And now it's time to add the confetti. Here's my big box of confetti. These are soap scraps that I picked certain colors of because I thought that these colors specifically lended themselves to confetti. So I'm gonna do 2 small handfuls in there. Then I'm going to blend it in here with my spatula. We bevel all the edges of our soaps here at Royalty Soaps. It makes really great scraps whenever you do that. Really nice confetti. So I just picked the colors of the soaps that I liked the best, and I had them put all of those beveled bits into a specific container for this soap. It requires a lot of planning to do it that way, but it's worth it. So let's pour this into the molds. It's definitely thickening up, and that's because I blended everything up with the stick blender. Now I did this on purpose because I don't want to wait forever for all the layers to set up, so it'll be a lot nicer to just go ahead and have layers getting kind of hard on me anyway. I'll tap them down on the ground and then I can mix up the next layer. Just kind of bounce this down. I'm definitely going to tap these down on the floor to get them to be nice and even. Hooray! Now that the first white layer with confetti is done, let's mix up the frosting pink layer. Got that Cosmic Carolyn in there, so I'm gonna go ahead and blend it up. Time to add the fragrance oil and vanilla color stabilizer mixture. Pour this on in. Blend that up. And now this one's ready to go in. Gonna break the fall using my scrapey spatula. Even though it's probably not needed, that bottom level is already really thick. All the pink is in now, so I'm gonna tap these down on the ground. And we will mix up the final layer of confetti. Final layer going in. Oh, it smells so good. The fragrance oil I used, by the way. Oh man, I'm about to tell you all the fragrance oil and I don't even remember the name of it. I'm pretty sure it's like cream cheese cupcake or something. I'm like 80–90% sure. I have a little bit left over that I cannot possibly fit into either one of these molds because I didn't shrink the size of my batch to account for the confetti, so there's a little much in there. So let's say we make a little cupcake. I know you can't see it, but I poured some soap into a little cupcake off to the side. Now I'm gonna let this sit up completely while I mix up the soap frosting, and then we'll come back and pipe the top. The frosting color for today is going to be this nice pink. I'm gonna start by putting 3 little dollops. I'm tempted to do 4, but I think I'm just gonna stick with 3 right across here. 23 was such a good year. Let's see, last year I was very pregnant with Lily for my birthday. Very uncomfortable. It was so hot. Then I had her in September, and so basically my whole 23rd year was full of baby cuddles and big life events. If you had told me at 18 that this is what I would be doing when I was 24 and I would have a baby and an amazing husband, I probably would have laughed in your face. The year of like 17 and 18 was so hard for me because all of my friends, and I do mean all of them, everyone I knew that was close to my age, they were all going to college. All of them were leaving home, and I was the only one I really knew that was doing something different. And it was just, oh, I felt like such a failure. My business hadn't really, I mean, it was still in its little baby stages, and everyone was leaving, and then they'd come back for holidays and like ask me what I had done, and there wasn't much to report. And nobody was ever really, well, there were a few people that were kind of rude about it, but most people didn't even say anything. I think it was just the pressure in my own head to look like everyone else and be like everyone else, and so I held myself to an unrealistic standard. But it was just really hard. It was really hard to see everyone else doing something so drastically different, like not a little different, not like, oh, I'm getting a different degree than anyone I know, but like, oh, I'm not even going to school, oh, I'm not going to trade school even, I'm just trying to start a business. Like, that was really just not what people in my group were doing. Oh, poor little 18-year-old Katie. If there's other people out there that are watching this that are younger and they're right in that weird transition part of life, and you guys are doing something that's weird, let me just take a moment to encourage you and say it does get better as you go along. Being different is always such a lonely little thing to do, but surround yourself with people who support you and believe in you, and that makes a world of difference, even if those people are online. I have a little bit left in here, so I'm gonna add the final dollop on top of these. Wonderful, now that all the pink frosting is on, let's add some cherry soap gum. Wonderful, now that all the pink frosting is on, let's add some cherry soap gum balls. So yeah, there's a little pep talk for all of you weirdos out there. For all who are going against the grain and beating their own trail, it does get better as you go along, and support is very helpful. Now that all the soap cherries are in, it is time for my favorite part, the sprinkles. Look at these sprinkles, they're so cool. This is from a company called Fancy Sprinkles, and just so you know, Not all sprinkles, in fact, most sprinkles are not vegan friendly. Most of them contain whey protein, and that is a derivative from cow's milk. So if you make vegan products and you use sprinkles, make sure that they are vegan. These are. I'm gonna sprinkle a little into my hand. Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. And then I'm just gonna put them here on the side of the soap. And my soap frosting is still relatively wet, so they're sticking really well. It actually took me quite a while to find a vegan sprinkle mix that I actually liked, because a lot of them were just kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie, I'm making kind of a mess with these vegan sprinkles. Well, I think that looks pretty good. So now I'm gonna take some biodegradable white glitter. I'm gonna put that on the sides as well. It kind of looks like sprinkles, like those little clear ones. And that is it, we are done. This is what the soap looks like up close. Oh my goodness. So we are gonna let these sit for 18 to 24 hours, and then we will come back to chop them all up after this quick commercial break. We are back the next day to cut the birthday cake soap, and I wanted to show you something. So I added the vanilla color stabilizer to both sides of this, but only one side of it took it really well. I'm sure it got the more mixed up version up here. It's a little not saturated down here, but you can also see where the pink frosting and the white connects, that there's a little bit of browning on there as well, because there's still vanilla in the soap, and vanilla turns soap brown. So I just want to let y'all know, vanilla color stabilizer does not solve all of the vanilla browning problems most of the time. In my experience, it really has just limited it. Vanilla color stabilizer also gives me glycerin rivers. Now, I've never seen a soap that someone made with it that I thought was completely glycerin river free, unless they did a really severe water discount. You can probably see up here on the top, a little bit of glycerin rivers there, and then of course there's a little bit of browning around the edges, and I do expect that this whole half right here will probably turn brown. It's not that big a deal, it'll just end up looking more like Neapolitan cake. However, the smell is absolutely scrumptious. It's worth all the issues that it causes. There's a bit of a better example of glycerin rivers up there on top. So if you end up purchasing one of these on August 6th at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, just know that a few of them might have some browning on the sides. It's just kind of the nature of the cold process soap product. It doesn't mean that there is anything wrong with your bar, and the sprinkles are actually holding on surprisingly well. I'm super shocked. Now the question of the day is something that, well, it might be a while until I can actually apply it. For the next birthday soap that we make, it might be for Caleb's birthday actually, because his is in December. Would you prefer to see a chocolate cake soap or a vanilla cake soap? So this is confetti cake. We could do chocolate, we could do vanilla. Let me think of one more other cake option. We could do red velvet again too, so now you have 3 to pick from. You can vote on the question of the day by clicking the I in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. I hope you all enjoyed this video and this series. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment down below, and I will see you all Saturday for the next video. So until then, have an absolutely marvelous day. Go do something for yourself today, whether that's cruising around and getting yourself a snow cone, or going bungee jumping. Do something that makes you happy, and I'll see y'all soon. So until then, bye for now. Meow.